Hey everyone, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. This is Silver Hyena, and I'm quite sure that you saw the thumbnail and read the description. So, I have been wanting to try out quite possibly some of the cheapest and worst watercolors ever. I know, please bear with me, but I really want to see how these compare to, say, Artist Loft, which so far has been the worst I've used, but these are the Cra-Z-Art washable watercolors, and they really put tape on this, didn't they? Yes, they did. Bah! Ha, well, I'll have a thing or two to say about that. Haha. Anyways, let's have a look. Okay, well, I've got some mixing space right there. Got the label, and, well, it's like the colors look bright, and, I am disgusted. What is this? Okay, I've seen worse, but, oh my. That is a disgrace. But then again, what can I expect for $2? So, yeah. Okay, for best results, do not pre-wash or chlorine bleach. Oh, I think that this is... Oh, that's best results for washing it out of your clothes. I thought it was for best results of how to actually use the darn things. Well, I'll just ignore that. For the swatches, I'll use this brush, and... you know, I might even challenge myself further, and I might regret this, but I'm thinking that I might use this awful disgrace throughout the entire piece, just to really challenge myself and see how long it takes me to regret this. So, without further ado, too late I know, let's get this show on the road. Moment of truth. Oh my gosh. It's actually showing up. I wasn't sure it was gonna. Okay, so that's actually kind of a green there. Okay, let's see how much. You know what? Dare I say it? That really doesn't look half bad. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not the best, obviously, but, you know, that doesn't look half bad. And geez, I feel like I'm going to break this stupid brush, because, like, usually it's like, I very thoroughly clean off my brushes, and when I was wiping my brush out, I felt like I was gonna break this stupid thing. Okay, so it's like, well, the bristles of the brush feel synthetic, obviously. It doesn't feel like that cheap plastic that Five Below, oh, excuse me, seems to include. So, like, you know what? So far, I'm actually looking forward to this. I mean, but oh boy. Oh, that could be a bit of a issue. It looks like as it dries, it's doing something kind of funky. Yeah, so I'm just gonna finish up these swatches and then think of something to draw. You know the drill. Yeah. I don't know what to think right now. Alrighty, so here are the swatches. However, this blue here is doing something funky as it dries. I do not know what is up with the purple flecks in there. Probably because it's really, really cheap pigments, because these are really, really cheap watercolors. However, I will say that I do genuinely like that blue. That is a very pretty blue. But what concerns me is the blending, or rather lack thereof, because this, while I was able to mix up my own yellowish green, it didn't re-wet very well. It didn't want to play ball, if you know what I mean. So blending is not very good. This one came out a little bit better, but that's probably because I just saturated it in water to try and get it to do what I wanted, and even still it just came out kind of blocky and awkward. So yeah, however, like, there's still hope that these can be utilized. So I am going to do some sort of painting with these, even if I have to like scoop out every last little bit of color out of these, because these wells do not feel particularly deep at all. But luckily these were like maybe $2 at Walmart, if that. So I am going to make something work with these, so stick around, I'm gonna get to that. And to add to the thrill, I have thought on it, and I'm going to regret this, but I will only use this paintbrush. When I was getting ready to start filming, I had brought out an assortment, but these bad boys, they're being set aside. I am just going to use this cheap, flimsy piece of you-know-what. You're welcome. I hope that my suffering brings my lovely viewers enjoyment. Anyways, without further ado, too late, I know. Let's get drawing and painting and making a mess.
First of all, I wanted something cute and simple. And who doesn't love kittens? I know I love kittens, so I threw down this little floofy boy. One thing I wanted to see was how well these bright colors could turn more earthy and neutral, and for the most part, I think they did. It just baffles me that they put 2 blues in this set. I mean, you only have 8 colors, which is pretty limited already, and instead of, say, purple, pink, or even black, there's 2 blues, one of which has purple flecks when it begins to dry. But that aside, I wanted to focus more on the browns, yellow, and orange. Now, when I had seen previous videos featuring these Cra-Z-Art paints, they often appeared to be severely watered down. Yes, I am aware that they are watercolors, but let me finish here. It looked like layering would be a nightmare. It was all water, no pigment sort of thing. So, of course, after seeing those videos, I wasn't exactly confident about how well they would perform for me. But I don't know if Cra-Z-Art changed their formula or what. I found myself rather enjoying these watercolors, actually. It was a pleasant surprise. Now, they're hardly perfect. I mean, the pigmentation isn't terribly strong, but it is there. And if you're willing to be patient, these paints do work. However, I did find that after a while, building layers does get kinda tricky. Like, after a certain point, the layers refuse to build and just kinda turn murky and kinda make things into one muddy tone. So, try not to overdo it. Also, despite my prior fussing, the brush that came with the set isn't, it was usable. I'm not going to say it's good, because I just can't. I can't. But it wasn't as miserable as I feared it may be. Well, Cra-Z-Art may have a reputation for being a cheap knockoff of Crayola. These paints are fun to use overall, despite the issues. I'd say that all in all, you really gotta try these out for yourself.
Alrighty, final thoughts. These surprised the heck out of me. I did not expect to have this much fun with cheap watercolors. I thought this was gonna be a, oh boy, here we go, ha ha ha. Let's try to use the El Cheapo stuff. I'll probably, like, throw it away after 30 minutes in a huff and drag out the Daniel Smiths, but no. I was actually enjoying these. Okay, this is already dry. It's got a teeny bit of chalky residue, but it's not nearly as bad as the Artist Loft. So, these super cheap Cra-Z-Art watercolors actually aren't the worst watercolors I've ever used. So, good on you, Cra-Z-Art. 2 double-jointed thumbs up because, well, it's hardly the best watercolor in the world. But you can find these at just about any store, even like grocery stores. They're super cheap and you can use them. Like, I was having a ton of fun, and even though it comes with like several really super bright colors, I actually wanted to kind of tone it down for my little kitty friend here. And oh my gosh, I would totally pick up and hug this kitty. It just looks so soft. But no, I mean, like, for $2, this was not half bad at all. So while Cra-Z-Art may not have the best reputation, might not be the best paint in the world. Okay, it definitely isn't the best paint in the world, but for the value, now that's the kicker. I mean, like, I would give these, for me, I'd say a 6 out of 10 when you consider the value aspect, how cheap you can pick these up, and availability. There's that to consider too. I mean, like, if I was just judging off of performance alone, probably a 4, because they are super transparent, and I know watercolors are supposed to be transparent, but layering them after a while, it does start to get a bit tricky. However, with all that being said, I think that 6 out of 10 when you combine performance plus availability plus price, because not everybody has $100 to burn on a single set of Daniel Smith. I mean, watercolor, it can get expensive, but it can also not be expensive. Okay, so with that being said, I certainly hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, while we're at it, why not visit my Instagram at SilverHyenaArt? And have you ever used Cra-Z-Art watercolor pans before? And if so, what did you think about them? If you had never considered using them before, would you consider using them now? Post below. As always, I love to hear what you guys have to say. And with that being said, this is Silver Hyena signing off. Stay creative, everybody. Bye! I also kept my promise. I only used this stupid, flimsy, blasé brush the entire video. I hope you're happy.